What's happening? It's John from Wrecked. It's Friday, November 11th. Got some time, so I figured I'd make another video with my most recent vinyl purchases. It's bad news. We got a gig on December 2nd, Friday night, at the Village Pub in Lindenhurst. Don't know the time yet, but we're going to be playing with, I think it's Steven and Not Steve's, maybe Sharp Violet, not 100% sure. But Village Pub Lyndhurst is a great venue. I played there once before at a different band, and it's good. I'm glad that they're one of the few venues that are still supporting original music here on Long Island. So I gotta be thankful for that. So yeah, another gig, probably be the last gig for the year. Again, still trying to get the new stuff recorded. So that's where we're at. But I do have five new purchases. I originally had wanted to do a Halloween special, and then I thought about doing a Thanksgiving special, because there's certain music for certain times and stuff like that. But either way, didn't work out that way. So here it is. I just got five new ones. The first one that I was going to use, obviously, for the Halloween special. Here you go. This is the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown soundtrack on translucent pumpkin-shaped vinyl. It's a mouthful, right? I don't know much about it. Vince Guaraldi, he's the composer. The most recent, the most famous Linus and Lucy Peanuts theme. So it's a soundtrack. So I put this on. We were carving pumpkins. Get into the spirit of things. This just came out 2022 on Craft Recordings on the license. So I don't know. I doubt it was even ever pressed on this kind of vinyl. But again, vinyl's in, man, so I figured they'd cash in on, I'll probably get the Christmas one, too, that's on green vinyl, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But, again, I don't know much about this. It was cool to listen to while we called pumpkins, and that was that. Probably never listen to it again until next year. All right, what's next? All right, let's go with this guy. This, I listen to this every Thanksgiving. It's part of a group of albums actually I listened to on Thanksgiving. This being one of them. I didn't have this last year. I couldn't get a vinyl copy, so I put it on Spotify and on the Bluetooth speaker. But I'm happy I have a decent copy of this album. This is the band The Last Waltz. If you know anything about the band, they were originally Bob Dylan's backing band, and then they started doing their own thing. Very good band. I've loved these guys for 30 years. I've been a fan of these guys. They're really hippie stuff. This originally came out, this is original pressing, 1978 on Warner Brothers Records. It's a 3 or 4 vinyl? No, 3, with a booklet. I have 3 vinyl. So it was a set. The Last Waltz was a film. Martin Scorsese directed it. It was their last concert on Thanksgiving night. I think out in San Francisco or something like that. But very cool, if you're into the hippie stuff, you know all these songs. So yeah, the Winterland Theater of Thanksgiving Day. So it's got a shit ton of guests on it from let's see, Paul Butterfield from the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. You got Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Emmylou Harris, Ronnie Hawkins, Dr. John, Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, Staples. I don't know who they are. Ringo Starr. I guess I had to do something with them. Muddy Waters, Ronnie Wood, and Neil Young. It's I don't know. You have star-studded, show. So every song's great on this. But my favorites would be Up on Cripple Creek, Helpless. Neil Young does a great version of Helpless. Night They Drove Old Dixie Down is great. Shape I'm In is great. Ophelia, that's a good one. I thought that was on here. No, maybe it's not. But the Weight's on here, of course, and other than that, you put this on, and you're not going to get a bad song out of any of it. I thought there was a song called "Don't Do It." That's one of my favorites. I'm actually shocked that it's not on here. Maybe it never was, but it's definitely in the film. It opens up the film. "Don't Do It." I think it's a Marvin Gaye song or whatever. But either way, the band was great. Hit or miss with their original stuff, but when they were on fire, they were on fire, and this is a great recording of that show, and they were on fire this night. And for my money, Robbie Robertson, the guitar player, is one of the best guitar players. Doesn't get enough credit, but is what it is. And he also produced this record, but great record if you haven't heard The Last Waltz by the band. All right, here's another one, another classic. If you haven't checked this out, this is Urban Cowboy soundtrack from the motion picture with John Travolta. If you haven't seen Urban Cowboy, it's a classic. One of my favorite movies of all time. I used to watch it as a kid, and it's a very violent movie. It's got a lot of adult themes in it that might not want to. I don't know, very uncomfortable at times, but it's great. It came out in 1980 on Paramount Pictures or Electra Asylum Records. Again, for the soundtrack, it's very country, and again, you get what you pay for on this. You have my favorites would be, of course, Devil and Donna Georgia, Charlie Daniels Band. You have Johnny Lee doing Cherokee Fiddle and Looking for Love, great. Boz Scaggs is on here, Look What You've Done to Me. Joe Walsh is on here with All Night Long. Linda Ronstadt is on here with Hearts Against the Wind. Bonnie Raitt, Anne Murray, Kenny Rogers. It goes on and on. Great soundtrack though, and I'm glad I have it. It's a great flick if you've never seen Urban Cowboy. 1980, again, John Travolta in his heyday. That's that. All right, here's one that I I had this on CD back in the day. I paid a lot of money for it. There used to be this record store called Purple Haze Records in Hicksville, and they were a like an import store and bootlegs, and they sold all sorts of stuff: T-shirts, T-shirts, magazines, posters, bootleg CDs. I don't think they sold vinyl. I don't think so. But cassettes, CDs, and regular stuff and bootleg stuff and real indie stuff, real hard to find stuff. A lot of they did a lot of promotions with local Long Island bands. They were able to sell their music directly through Purple Haze, which was very cool. But I had this CD, and I finally got a copy of this on vinyl. This is The Misfits live, Hitsville in Passaic, New Jersey, Christmas of '81. It's called If You Don't Know This Song, Then What the Fuck Are You Doing Here? I mean, I remember this from when I was a kid in the various record stores that had indie rock and underground metal and stuff like that, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. But I'm so glad I finally got a vinyl copy. I'm not 100% sure what songs are on here because it's a blank label and there's no track listing, but red vinyl. It's great. Misfits weren't a great live band, and this is a recording of them being not so great. I'm sure all the good ones are on here. Skulls, I Turned Into a Martian, Night of the Living Dead. I'm sure they're all on here. What's funny about bootleg records and all bootleg records in general, and especially in the bands like the Misfits, who had so many different lineup changes. I don't know who plays on this one, but the front cover over here, that's not even the Misfits. That's Sam Hain. So you have Danzig, but Steve Zing maybe. I don't know, but this is not the Misfits. This is definitely Sam Hain. The back is the Misfits. That's the Misfits. That's Arthur Googie. That's Jerry Only, Glenn Danzig, and Doyle. So that's the Misfits. Front is Sam Hain, which is misleading, but again, you bought it, you didn't know what you were going to get. I don't remember what's on this, but I remember loving it, so I finally got a copy of it. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite bands from when I was in my early 20s, late teens and early 20s. This is Mazzy Star, 7-inch with I'm Less Here. I'm Less Here, backed with so-called Things. Mazzy Star, again, I've covered them in videos before. They are a band that had 3 great albums and then took a 20-year break. Hope Sandoval, who's a singer, she went on to get her own band, Hope Sandoval and the Woman Inventions, and she did some music with My Bloody Valentine, stuff like that. But they were gone after 1995. They were gone, and then they came back. This was 2014 on Rhymes of an Hour Records. So yeah, 2000. That's when they came back. Had another full length, and I bought this because this was before they had the full length out. This was Record Store Day in 2014 on clear vinyl. Check that out. But I mean, the 2 songs, both songs are killers. But David Roback, I've covered this in videos before, passed away, and that's that. So, and he was a chief songwriter of that band. But I strongly suggest checking out Mazzy Star. If you like Lana Del Rey, you'll love Mazzy Star. It's very similar in the tone of the voice. It's not they are different, but I mean, I can see you put on Mazzy Star and I hear Lana Del Rey and vice versa. Not so much in the style of the music, but the tone and the timbre of her voice. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't have much else ordered or coming or anything like that. stayed true to my word about not really buying stuff that I don't need. And so, I mean, that's the last of the new stuff for a while. Probably it's the last of the holidays. I have a list of stuff I'm going to get. Just wait for the right time. So, other than that, that's it. Have a great weekend, and don't forget check out our Instagram and Facebook for updates about the new release. Hopefully, I mean at this point, I was talking about hopefully having it out by the holidays, but I don't think that's going to happen. So after the holidays, most likely. But yeah, December 2nd, I'd love to see some familiar faces in the old town of Lindenhurst. Come out and see us because it's our first show since the Beery Palooza. And so we're looking forward to it, and hopefully close the year out on a good note and move forward. So don't forget December 2nd, and that's it. Have a great night. Thank you for watching.